morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is FlossTube number 245. It is Sunday, June 9th. I want to say welcome. If this is your first time finding my channel, I hope that you like what you see. You want to hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I have a super thanks button below. If you really like what you see, you could always give a monetary tip through there or through PayPal, which actually means that I get more of what you give to me. I found out recently that, especially if you're doing it on an Apple device, when you do the super thanks button, like 30% goes to YouTube and 30% goes to Apple. But in any case, that's totally not necessary, but it is very nice when people think of me in that way. If this is not your first time finding my channel, if you're one of my regular viewers, thank you so much for coming back and spending this time with me. It means so much to me, more than I could have ever imagined and more than you possibly realize. It's just a bright spot in my week, and I've had weeks lately where I've needed that bright spot. But I just want to say thank you and welcome, and I hope that you enjoy this. I don't have a lot of preamble today, honestly. I've been kind of in a weird headspace. I've talked about this kind of stuff before, and I don't want to be, have my channel or my videos be a negative. I've just had a lot of anxiety lately. You guys know I've been going through the ringer with my car, and it's really stressing me out. My mechanic is still working on it. He's having some trouble, I guess, hooking the part that we finally got to the computer system, and I have this dread inside me that he's not going to be able to fix it, and I'm going to be stuck without a car and without the means to get another one. So it's kind of something I'm just like pushing down. I don't want to sit here and stress about something that I can't do anything about at this time. I've also been really missing my mom lately, and I'm dreaming about her like almost every night. And it's not like I'm dreaming about her, it's just I'm having whatever dreams and then she's in it. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just kind of messing with my head a little bit. So, we all have these times when things are just a little bit more difficult, and I guess that's my time right now. But I have my channel and my friends through my channel and my crafting to kind of get me through, and my baggie gives me cuddles and kisses when he's not driving me crazy. So, we'll get through it. Weather, it's very overcast and muggy right now. It is definitely starting to heat up here in Southern California. High 70s, low 80s, pretty much every day going forward. I gave in and I turned on my AC this past weekend, Friday night I think I started. I'm not having it on all the time. It's like I'll sit there and go, I'm hot. I turn on the AC, let it cool down for half an hour and turn it off. So we'll try and keep in that mode for a while, but it's just, we're getting into the sticky weather, and I don't enjoy it. It makes me feel kind of gross. It messes with my digestive system. I don't sleep as well, all the things. But we'll see what happens. I guess it'll make an interesting temperature blanket. So that's a good segue. I don't have a lot of discussion besides that for last week. It was a normal week, normal work week. Yeah, nothing exciting happening. I played D&D with my brother on Tuesday, which was fun. And we have another game scheduled in a couple weeks. Zoom reminder, we will be having a Zoom next Sunday, which is the 16th. I didn't realize when I said that it was Father's Day. I hope that's not an issue. I mean, unfortunately, it's never been an issue for me. But I realize, it may stop some people from coming on because they have Father's Day stuff to do. I can tell I'm already looking glowy. This is how I'm going to look for the next several months on the channel. because even when I am using the AC, I turn it off for videos because it's just right there and it's way too loud. But anyway, so bear with the glow. I guess that's supposed to be, you know, good now. You want glowy looking skin. We'll call it glowy and not like you look like a sweat bomb, right? So where was I? Oh, the Zoom is going to be next Sunday, the 16th at 3 o'clock. And then I have one scheduled for Wednesday, I believe the 26th. Yeah, 26th at 6. So mark your calendars and hopefully we'll see you there. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the preamble. Maybe this will be a short video, but probably not. I've got a late start this morning, which means that it's going to probably take longer for my video to go up, which means I'll have less people viewing it. It's all a big domino effect, but hopefully once I get done, it'll upload really quickly. Okay, so I have a winner announcement for the giveaway that I talked about last week from, which was actually being offered by Casey, which she has a YouTube channel, which she hasn't posted to in quite a while, but Casper the Stitching Ghost, and she had a sort of an Asian tea scene realist kit that she started and just wasn't enjoying, and she didn't do very much on it, but she offered it to me, and I rather than doing it myself because I just don't know when I would get around to it, I thought, you know, hey, we can do it as a giveaway on the channel, which she thought was great. So I asked people to say tea in the comments. We had several comments because it's a really beautiful chart, and I did a random comment picker thing this morning, and the person who won is Lee from Stick Strings and Other Things. Yay! And so what I will ask Lee, you can actually, I know we've communicated on Instagram, you can send me your real email address in Instagram, and then I will send your email address to Casey, and then you guys can communicate on how she can get you the chart. So Casey and Lee, be aware, and hopefully I can connect you guys so you can do the trade, do the chart trade. But congratulations, Lee, and thank you so much, Casey, for offering it to my channel. Anyway, so that was sort of a fun thing that was happening this week. So congratulations again, Lee. Okay, so let's get into it. I have actually several things to show you. So I was kind of into crochet this week, I have to say. I found a new channel, TL Yarn Crafts, I want to say. Tony, she's very prolific in the crochet industry, and she is a teacher, and she does a lot of Tunisian crochet, which I haven't started or tried yet, but I was sort of into watching a lot of her videos, and that kind of inspired me, and yada yada. So let me show you my projects that I worked on this week. So temperature blanket, I actually did start my May square, which May is not going to be a very exciting square because after I got all the temperatures and you know, and then converted them into colors, there's only going to be the two, the light blue and the dark blue, which means that the temperatures were all within that range of I think 70, they were all between 65 and 74 degrees for the entire month of May. So within that 10-degree range, all month means that I have a 2-color square. So I started it. It's actually still going to be really pretty. It's just not going to be super exciting. I also, I had sewed on the April square last week, which I don't think I showed you it together, but then I also worked on my border a little bit, so I got all the way across the top pretty much with my sort of shell rainbow border that I'm doing here. And then, you know, I can take the border around these two sides, and then I won't be able to work on the border for a while. I also was thinking about this morning, and my idea for my temperature blanket for next year with the strawberry patch, I still really want to do that. I think it would be beautiful, but I have to figure it out because I was, you know, when I was in the bathroom this morning thinking, as we do, I was like, wait a minute, that's going to end up being huge. And I'm going to have to figure out a way to, because I'm like forgetting that there's 30 days in each month. So, you know, at least, or around. So, you know, a 30 by 30 is going to be, you know, each square is going to be, I don't know, it's going to end up being a huge blanket. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do it. So I have 6 months to think about that, right? I still want to do a strawberry patch. I don't know if maybe I'll end up doing rose, which is not really what I wanted to do. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Maybe do some testing of stitches to see, you know, how big they end up being. Because I like the idea of doing it in squares because each month is a smaller thing to deal with and you're not ending up having to be stitching on a huge blanket. I like that it's small. So I kind of want to keep that, you know, in mind. But I guess I'm going to have to see, you know, if I do 30 strawberries, like how big is that? So I would have like a 30 by 30 strawberry square, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so that's something I'm going to have to think about for over the next 6 months, basically, to figure out how I'm going to do that blanket. Okay, I also worked on my beaded bag. Oops. And it's basically just growing. This is kind of just fun to do, and it's got a nice weight to it. I mean, as I said, I originally saw it as people talking about it being a weighted blanket. And it does have some weight to it with the beads, but I don't know if I'm going to turn it into like a project bag, or, I mean, it probably will be a project bag. I don't think I'm going to actually use it as like a purse or anything like that. My thing I have to decide as I get a little bit taller with it is, do I want to make it into like a drawstring type bag, or do I want to put handles on it, or just, you know, close it off and have like snaps or something. I don't know. So that's what I have to decide, but I am having fun just making it. Just the act of making it is fun, and I'm enjoying working with this yarn, which is just an acrylic. It's like the Michaels brand. This when I bought it, it was called Craft Smart. I think it's called Loops and Threads now. And it's just like their value multi acrylic. And then, because I was watching Tony from TL Yarn Crafts, she has this beginner basket on her channel that I really liked. It's made with Wool Ease, which is a wool and acrylic bulky weight. This is actually super bulky, and you use 2 strands, so it makes it really, really super thick. I'm using a 9mm crochet hook. It's a little bit hard to do on the hands. So this is the whole bottom of it. It's not a big basket at all, but I just did the first stitch on that ends up, you know, kind of like turning it to go up. But I'm enjoying it, and I like how it looks. This is the color Eden. Yeah, I'm enjoying, you know, stitching with the super bulky. It's a little bit hard on the hands, but I think it looks really cool, and I love making crochet baskets. I really do. So yeah, So that's all my crochet stuff that I worked on as well. Not exactly. I have actually something else to show you. But that's all like the full-on crochet. So, cross stitch, I have a finish, a new start, and whips to show you. So the finish, I have to say, you know, I focused on a finish this week. I definitely did, because I worked on this, I think, 3 times because I just wanted to get it done. It is the Cherry Lane Designs Starburst and Stripes, which is this fun starbursty sort of flag. I'm not, I've said this before, I'm not a big patriotic stitcher, but I just really like this pattern because I love the starbursts. They were just fun to do. This thing is riddled with mistakes. Doesn't matter because it's kind of a ditzy pattern. And then because I really liked how I did the crochet back of the pillow that I showed you, I think last week, I went ahead and I crocheted this little square. Now I told you about this last week and I was like, nobody weighed in. So I used scrubby yarn. I used a light blue and a red. These are meant to make like, you know, like scrubbies for like your dishes or your sink or whatever. It's sort of, it's not, I mean, it's a scratchy, it's not soft in any way. It's scratchy. It's meant to be a scrubby. But I like how it feels. Like I wouldn't want to put my face against it, but I like how it feels. It's not necessarily fun to crochet with. It kind of hurts your finger after a while with it running over it, which is why it's good when you're making small things with it. But I went ahead and made this little rectangle to make a pillow back, basically, for this. So I can just turn it into a little pillow, which I haven't done yet. But even though this isn't a typical like material for it, again, this is just a decorative pillow, so it's not something that necessarily needs to feel soft against your face or something like that. And honestly, because this is like scrubby and eyelashy and a little sparkly, and it's sparkly because of it doesn't have any metallic in it. It's just because it's like a nylon, I guess. It kind of reminds me of like fireworks and, you know, sort of 4th of July type look. So I thought that would work for a little back to this pillow. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to sew it together yet. I used the blanket stitch on the other one and I don't know if that would look good on this. So I just might just like whip stitch it or something. I'm not sure, but that is a finish. Not quite a fully finish. A 2-piece finish that still needs to be put together and stuffed. So, I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool with this little thing. It actually would make a really good scrubby. So, I have some more of those balls. Eventually, I think I need to just make scrubbies out of them. Okay, so that was my finish. But I have a new start. Why do I have a new start? Because, you know, you get these wild hairs and you just want to do what you want to do. So I've shown you guys this before. This is the Cross Stitch for the Soul by Emma Congdon, Stitchrovia. And the one pattern, I mean, there's a lot of really cute things in here, but the one chart that is always just really, really, like, I look at it, it makes me happy, is the When Life Gives You Lemons, Make Lemonade. I think my mom had a little plaque that said that when I was a kid growing up. She also had one that said, insanity is hereditary, you get it from your kids. I remember that. But anyway, so I've always really liked that chart and that saying. So I decided to go ahead and start it and pulled colors. Now, I basically kind of had to fudge colors all over the place because although I have a ton of floss, what I don't have is a lot of yellow. I mean, I just don't. I don't know why. I'm not drawn necessarily to patterns that have a lot of yellow in them. So it's not colors that I've purchased a lot. But I pulled flosses, and you know that I never really stitch on anything on white. I know some things look really good on white. I just don't enjoy doing it, so I'm not gonna. But what I decided to use this time was this interesting piece of Aida that I didn't dye it. What do you call it? Bleach dyeing? I bleached it. This was red. This was red, like Christmas red Aida, and I wanted to experiment with using bleach, and it turned out kind of this interesting salmon-y color with a little bit of modeling. Not a lot, but some. And I thought all the colors like worked well on here. Now, though, I'm debating on possibly backstitching the letters. But I realized like the only letter that I think is kind of hard to read is the W, and it's hard to read in the original pattern too when you look at it. But I don't know, this was just a spur of the moment, you know. It's getting to be summer, so I thought it would be a fun little summery stitch. I put it in my watermelon bag. And yeah, so that was my new start. Now, as I said, I was working on Starburst and Stripes like several days this week, so that did cut down on the number of whips I worked on, but I have 3 other whips to show you. I worked on Purple Allium. This is a Reolist kit using wool and acrylic thread. And this is another piece of Aida that I dyed. Very wrinkly piece of Aida, apparently. And like the other Reolist kits, flower kits I've worked on previously, I've noticed with these kits while I'm working on them, I just like the whole time I'm like, I'm not seeing it. It just looks blobby. And then I hold them up for the video and they look really good and you can see the flowers. And I think that's just a little bit, just the nature of the Reolist flower kits is that they just are hard to, they don't look like anything super close up. I also feel like this particular pattern is a little bit fuzzier looking than like the other ones. Like the flowers themselves are like sort of an airy fuzzy flower. But I'm having fun working on it. It goes actually pretty quick. Although I've got a long ways to go on it, but yeah, so I'm enjoying that. Okay, I worked on my chatelaine, my green lace garden mandala. Now, ever since I put it in these rods, I've struggled showing it to you guys because I don't know how to hold it like on, you know, camera. And I realized it's because I'm like focused on like, oh, I have to hold it like this because this is the top. But I don't really, because it's a mandala and it doesn't really matter if you're seeing it sideways or not. The only difference is my stitches, which you can't see that close anyway, are going a different way. So basically I had finished like the blue of these little, like, I don't know what they're called. To me, it's like Russian onion roofs. But I had finished all the blue, but then I started, I don't know if you can see, but there's little gold stitches and then little stitches around here. And then there's rice stitches. I started those. And I don't know if you're gonna actually be able to see all the little, yeah, so you can see like the rice stitches. Well, that one's a half a stitch. I haven't finished it, but yeah, so, you know, I spent an evening working on that. And so that'll be my goal, is to get, you know, that whole thing finished around the border and then move on to, I think, the corners. And then there's a lot of beading. And then last but not least, I worked on my Joan Elliott Sweet Pea Fairy yesterday. I love this chart. I pull it out and she just makes me happy. I just think she's so beautiful. And I'm glad I did her face because it's so pretty and she's so serene looking, and I want to feel like she looks. You know, it's like incentive. Okay. So, I worked on this arm, the arm that's behind the shawl. So those were 2/110, and then of course the gauzy shawl over it is regular stitches. But I worked on, so that whole thing, and then almost all of this blue. And then I did a little bit up here as well. But she is so pretty. Don't you guys think? I mean, I do. You know, you can say whatever you want, but I think she's just gorgeous and fun to work on. I was really tempted to like pull out the beads and start doing some more beading on her. I did a little bit on like the necklace and stuff. And I'm debating, you know, there's always the issue, like if you start beading too soon, then you can't put it in a hoop easily. And so there's that whole issue. I mean, I do have scroll frames, so if I have to, I can move, you know, use that instead of the hoops, although I prefer the hoops. But I don't know. I ended up just working more on the stitching as opposed to doing the beading, so I didn't quite pull it out. Although I was tempted. There are times when, you know, you just feel like beading, and sometimes with something like that, especially when there's a lot of little holes because they're waiting for the beads. Excuse me, I get to the point where I want to do the beads. So that might happen. Okay, so that was all of my stitching, all of my crafting this week. Actually, you know, I got quite a bit done. I do have a little bit of haul to show you. I mean, you saw the yarn that I got. I got those. Honestly, I saw it on the video that it was that brand, and I wanted to use the brand that was called for. So I looked it up on Amazon, and I do this a lot, especially if I don't have like any really strong feeling about color or whatever. I'll look it up, and if it's like a thing that has, you know, 40 colors, a lot of times each color is a different price. So that's what happened, and I ended up getting the one, you know, looking at the ones that were the cheapest price, and they were like $6 a ball, I think, and as opposed to 10 or 12. And so, you know, I found the ones that were the 6 range, and then picked the one that I like from there. And I do like that one. I don't know, I might like it better if the base were like a cream rather than a gray, but the gray is kind of growing on me, and I love all the colors in it. So, okay, and but the big haul that I got this week, which I told you about, but I haven't gotten it yet. I got these scented beeswaxes from, and the shop is called Crafty Gurumi on Etsy. So I ended up getting like way more than I need, because she had these sample packs where you got like 6 samples. So basically her regular full-size ones were like $6 or $7, mostly $7. And the sample packs, you got 6 samples for I think $8. So, but the thing is that if you spent a certain amount, then you got free shipping, and shipping was like $9 or $10. And so it like, I have this thing with shipping, especially on Etsy and stuff. I hate paying for shipping, especially when it's the price of an item. So I would rather spend a little bit more. I mean, we have to get reasonable here. I'm not going to spend $100 instead of $20 to get free shipping, but I might spend $40 instead of $30 to get free shipping. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I got 5 packs of these, and smelled them all, and I would say there's only a couple that I dislike. I would say half of them I really like, and then, you know, there's some that I'm like, okay, that's fine, I can take it or leave it, and, you know, but most of them I actually really liked. So I did try out one of them on one, and they come in these little containers. So they're samples. I mean, they're meant to be samples. But I mean, this is enough for an entire project, really. So, and I haven't been using them on everything. I've been using them on like old kit floss. I haven't tried them on metallics yet, which I could have used it last night. And part of it is because I kind of wanted to keep them in the bag so I could show you guys. And now I can, you know, use them a little bit more. I don't think I want to get rid of little boxes because the boxes are the ones that say what is in the scent. I think my very favorite, which, you know, it's never exactly what you think. I like a lot. So, okay, so the packs that I got, and she, you know, of course she divides them by, so this one's called Foodie, and it has apple cheddar, I think is what she's calling it, cafe mocha, iced gingerbread, lembas bread, pumpkin spice, and chocolate cake. They all smell good. They all smell good. This is Summer Fun, which has a lot of the ones I like. Besaid Beach, which is sea salt, sand, and floral. Destiny Island, sea salt and orchid. Whipped limoncello, root beer float, which smells really good, and cherry limeade. I think the root beer float is actually my favorite out of this, which would not be what I expected. To me, the ones that have coconut in them smell just remind me of suntan lotion. This is Zelda scents. I'm not really familiar with Zelda, the game, but, you know, as I said, at the time I wanted to get to free shipping, and the one pack that I really wanted was sold out, the winter ones. This is Lord of the Ring scents. This has a lot of like smoky, herby scents, which I like. It has one called Prancing Pony, which has patchouli. I hate patchouli, so anything that's patchouli in it I usually hate. But other than that, I found I really kind of like the oaky, almost more masculine, I guess, scents. And then this is Calm and Clean. It has clean citrus, lavender, vanilla, Kingdom of Zeal, which is fresh air grass and floral and citrus, coconut, lime, verbena, and tea and cookies. Tea and cookies actually turned out to be, I think, the one that I like the best, and I wouldn't have thought I would, because usually anything that's supposed to be having bakery notes I don't like in candles and stuff, but this is green tea, lemon with vanilla undertones, and it smells like lemon tea to me, which I love that scent. So anyway, I think this one's my favorite. So, you know, I have a ton of these, so what am I going to do with them? Well, I'm going to use them. I might give some away. You know, I have that, retreat coming up in November, so, you know, I might be able to give some away to table mates and stuff. And because they all come in these cute little containers with a little sticker, it's nice. White Witch. What is this one? This one smells pretty good. This one smells kind of, I don't know, Christmassy, I guess. Pine, fir, and balsam. Night air and a hint of cranberry. So yeah, it does smell sort of Christmassy, which Christmassy is not necessarily me, but I do like the smell of the pine trees and stuff. So anyway, this was like my big purchase for the past couple weeks. And I'm going to enjoy using these and kind of experimenting with using thread conditioner. These are all supposed to be beeswax and pure beeswax, almond oil, and fragrance oil. So I'm not really concerned about, you know, archival quality, that kind of thing. Like, I know that's an issue for some people. The little bit I've used these, or any kind of thread conditioner, which seriously I've just started in the last couple weeks, they do seem to help with the knotty thing. So we'll see. You know, I like the little smelly stuff. It's like getting candles. I think I tend to not like as many scents as I think I'm gonna. And then I'm always surprised. Like, the ones that I end up really liking are not what I would have thought. But anyway, again, the shop is Crafty Gurumi. So if you are interested in this kind of thing, it's on Etsy. And check it out. And I think that that is it. A little bit shorter video than normal. I got some really big Ziploc bags that I'm going to use to try and organize my yarn a little bit more. I had put it in a couple like display things because I like the way, you know, big baskets of yarn look. But I'm realizing that that might not be the best way to store it for the health of the yarn, that it might be better to just put it in plastic bags that I can kind of squish out all the air to keep it clean, free from dust and possible bugs. We don't get a lot of bugs here, but it probably would make sense to do that. And then I can kind of stack them in a basket, and it won't be as pretty, but then I also don't have to worry about having it out. I can kind of tuck it away. And I think if they're in big clear plastic bags, that I'll still be able to see what I have so that I can use it and get at it. I'm trying not to just buy yarn. I'm trying to use it. If I get a wild hair to make something, then I'm trying to use something that I have. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and look forward to hearing from you this week. Look forward to seeing you next week after the video. And I hope you have a great week. I hope I have a great week. I hope I have good news on all fronts. Keep me in your thoughts. Yeah, and you know, like I said, anxiety, stress, all of those negative things, they will pass. You know, I'm trying not to dwell, and I'm trying not to stress about stuff that I can't control and I can't do anything about yet. And then if stuff happens that I have to take care of, then I will deal with it at that time. I mean, that's all I can expect of myself, I guess. So until I see you guys again, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you get a lot of crafting done, and have a lot of relaxing time. Hug your loved ones, hug your fur babies, hug your real babies, hug your significant others, and please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.